What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have a lot to talk about today, including the fact that a Blue Jays reliever blew the Orioles a kiss. There's a lot more to that story because there was some personal beef kind of involved. We'll talk about that later. This Jung Hoo Lee fella for the Giants is playing like prime Carl Crawford versus the Yankees this week, and I'm praying that you young guys know who Carl Crawford is. Garrett Crochet put his former team in a blender. Like, we're talking no-hitter through 7 innings blender, and he got a standing ovation from his old fans. The Padres, they literally cannot lose at home. Michael King, he just secured the best start by any starting pitcher this year, and torpedo back Cal Raleigh. Honestly, guys, he might hit a home run every single game for the rest of the year. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. This series has been a grind, so do me a favor, help out the channel, leave a like, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off all of your tickets. And by the way, for all of those people saying my code doesn't work, it does work, but just try a different email. It's only on your first time. And also, don't forget to download Underdog Fantasy using code Fuzzy. Unfortunately, we have some awful news to start today's recap. Justin Steele, the nasty lefty for the Cubs, he's going to be missing the rest of 2025 with an elbow issue. He's going to need surgery to correct it. He's coming off the best start that he's had in a while with 7 shutout innings, 8 strikeouts against the Rangers. Something must have happened in that start. Maybe he emptied the tank a little bit too much. I don't know, but he did have a 3.1 ERA from 2022 to 2024. I'm just praying that he gets the best of the best surgeon, like the Shohei Ohtani of surgeons, and he's back in record time. Now, we do have some good news for Cubs fans. Pete Crow-Armstrong's bat, I think, woke up all the way in this game. Pete, he's from the LA area, so it's got to feel really good to go yard in a ballpark he probably went to a lot growing up. Tommy Edman, he's out there in center field. He can play defense all over the place. He did his best Pete Crow-Arm impression with a nice diving grab. Michael Busch, he's at it again. His second of the series, his third of the season. Tyler Glasnow, he spiked that rosin bag in frustration. He's not the only pitcher spiking rosin bags in this video. Chris Sale, he did not have a great day, but that's later on. Glasnow still struck out 7 over 6. Training he's in now, and PCA, he's out again. He blew a kiss to his mom. PCA is up to 2 home runs, 6 stolen bases, 4 outs above average with the best arm of any outfielder. He's top 2% in speed. If he ever figures out even how to hit 280, he's going to be a perennial 7 to 8 WAR player. Nico Horner extended their lead by 1. I thought Teoscar got there, but obviously he trapped it. Presley, he didn't need any extra cushion because he worked a 7-pitch 9th inning. He has 4 saves on the year. The Cubs are 11-7 after winning 2 in a row. The Dodgers are now 4-6. Their last 10 games, they're 19th in team OPS the last 15 days as an offense. They have a lot going on right now. Even with their pitching staff, they have the most walks as a pitching staff over the last 15 days. So they're allowing base runners left and right, and they're not really driving in runs right now. The Rangers are also in a rut, but I can't say the same lately about the Mariners. A win here will give them 4 W's in a row. And speaking of doing things in a row, Cal has a home run in 3 straight games. By the way, he's using a torpedo bat, and I think he has a home run in 3 consecutive games with that new bat. Dustin Harris, the rookie for the Rangers, he could be a dude. He has 2 home runs, his first 10 at-bats dating back to last year. He put up some crazy stolen base numbers throughout his minor league career. Now, he's not going to get a ton of playing time because he's covering for Wyatt Langford, who's on the IL, but again, he's got some talent. Logan Gilbert, he has all the talent in the world. He shredded yesterday, just the 1 run. He had 7 strikeouts. He has 32 strikeouts his first 22 2/3 innings this year. He has 252 strikeouts his last 231 with a 3.1 ERA. Logan, he's going to get the W now because Evaldi, he hit Randy with the bases loaded, and Senor Smoke got the final 3 outs. That's what they call Andres Munoz. That's a fun nickname, by the way. Senor Smoke. He's up to 6 saves after ending it with triple digits. The Mariners, they sweep the Rangers. They're 5-1 against Texas and Houston this year. And I forgot to mention, they're back to 500. They're 8-8. The Padres are the only other team within reach of that 4-game win streak by the Mariners. I think they can also get to 4, and at the same time, they can become MLB's first team to 13 wins. And this was one of the most dominating series you're ever going to see because it was just a complete, utter annihilation of a team that has no plan of attack for the future. Like, honestly, what are Rockies fans supposed to do? Just keep showing up to games that they know they're going to lose? It's embarrassing. They got to sell that team. As you just saw, the Padres are already up 2 after Oscar Gonzalez and Yuli Gurriel both singled in a run. Now, double it and give it to the next guy. I'm trying to lighten up the mood. dude, obviously it's not working. But Jose Iglesias, he doubled the lead with a 2-run flick of the wrist to center field. He has 4 RBIs his last 3 games. Now, I'm going to let Michael King take us home because he's become a clear top 10 pitcher in baseball. And I know it's the Rockies, but going complete game shutout in anything is impressive, let alone in Major League Baseball. He spun the sinker, sweeper, changeup to perfection. He strikes out 8 over 9 shutout frames, only 2 base hits, 1 walk. The Padres do become MLB's first team to 13 Ws, and by the way, they are a perfect 10-0 at home. The Rockies, I mean, when are they going to be good? They're 3-12. Who knows? Maybe Colorado can salvage their season with a run like the Marlins are going on, because let's face it, the Marlins aren't that good, but they're playing with passion, whether that's cringe or not to say. A lot of these guys are finally getting their shot, and they're taking full advantage. Griffin Conine is an older rookie, but he peppers a lefty-lefty RBI single. Same with this guy. He's not an older rookie, but the 5'7" short king, Javier Sanhoja, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. He's also a rookie. That's his first career RBI. Miami, they stole the lead with a sac fly, but that's a little bit boring. I want to skip to this. Matt Mervis with the pinch hit 2-run moonshot. Can we call this guy Moonshot Matt? That's his 5th home run in 34 at-bats. I'm so happy that he's getting his fresh start and taking full advantage of it. Otto Lopez, he just threw his barrel at a ball. Not very often we see Jacob Young not be able to snatch a baseball, but it was hit just a little bit too soft. Is that Kyle Stowers again? 3 games in a row that Stowers has had a double and 2 RBIs in 1 game. Miami, they take it easy, which means they're now above 500. They are 8-7. By the way, the Nationals now have the worst team ERA in baseball. It was the Rockies. Now it's the Nationals. They have a 5.15 team ERA. Pitching is always going to be the issue with the Nationals. They find offensive studs left and right. We love good storylines on this channel, and we got some good ones coming up these next 2 games. Garrett Crochet, he's facing off against his old team, and he's taking a no-hitter into the 7th. But real quick, Jung Hoo Lee, he's emerging as a top 5 center fielder. I want to see Lee going off because he's doing it in the Bronx. Now, while I was yapping, the Yankees actually teed off on Logan Webb. Goldie's hitting cleanup. He plates Aaron Judge. JC Escara, he scores Jason Dominguez for his first career RBI, and then JC scored on a Ben Rice blooper. Logan Webb, he's going to need some help to flip the momentum. Goldie, he sky went to the short porch. Luis Matos, he's tracking it down, and he makes the grab. That catch right there flipped the momentum on its head. Jung Hoo Lee, he keeps it going with his 2nd home run of the series. That ball was scorched almost 410 feet, so no cheapie on that one. Later in the game, Jung is up again, this time with runners on. Oh my God, it might actually be happening. The breakout might be here. A curveball at his elbows. He whacked it out for a 3-run home run. Carlos Rodon is visibly upset, and I would be too, because he's now allowed the most earned runs, home runs, and walks in the league so far. And as good as Goldie's been, this error cost Jazz a game-tying home run. Jazz came into this at-bat 0 for his last 24. Again, it would have tied it instead. Judge, he actually strikes out to end it as Ryan Walker, he gets the save. The Giants are 11-4. The Yankees are slipping bad. They have the same record as the Marlins. They're 8-7, but I got to tip my cap to Jung Hoo Lee. He's batting over 350 with 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases. He's leading the league with 8 doubles. He's still just 26 years old. Do you think that he can keep this up? By the way, Aaron Judge, I do want to mention that he was just named the captain of the World Baseball Classic team for 2026. I got to go to those games. I cannot wait for that series. So Carlos Rodon got lit up by his former team. Garrett Crochet did not. He was the one doing the lighting up, and it's got to be miserable to face Garrett because he's 6'6" with that high leg kick. Then you got 97 plus coming right at you. He went 9 up, 9 down through the first 3. Now he's back at it. He goes 12 up, 12 down, strikes out Miguel Rojas in the process. 2 more strikeouts in the 5th. He is literally perfect through 5. All 15 White Sox hitters have been retired. But remember, the Boston Red Sox offense has been garbage lately. Shane Smith, he bottled them up, but he did get tagged by Trevor Story. Maybe not entirely Shane's fault because Brooks Baldwin took a terrible route to that ball. It drops in for a 2-run double. Story, by the way, has 6 stolen bases, and we'll talk about him more in a second. Crochet, he lost the perfect game. He walks Brooks Baldwin. Now he's still shredding. 10 strikeouts through 6 1/3. 11 through 6 2/3. He's now through 7 no-hit frames. And of course, he's going to go back out for the 8th. He's facing the kid that he was traded for. And of course, he's the one to end it. Chase Mydroth, he breaks it up. Garrett Crochet, he gets the standing O from his former fan base. The Boston bullpen, by the way, cannot keep things scoreless. But at least Trevor Story got that run back. He's batting .310 with 3 home runs, 6 stolen bases. He's back to top 10% in speed. Is Trevor Story fully back? I hope so. Aroldis Chapman, that's his 3rd save as the Red Sox beat the White Sox 3-1. We know that Chris Sale was basically the first version of Garrett Crochet. He went from the White Sox to the Red Sox. He's on the Braves now. Let's see if he can find his groove because he's been bad. Well, he did not find his groove. Instead, he grooved a ton of pitches. Yandy goes the other way, just like Tyler Glasnow. Chris Sale, he was tossing rosin bags. Then it was kind of a paper cut sort of game with Caballero, Coco Montes, yes, that is a real name, and Christopher Morel all driving in runs with singles. The health gods will just not leave the Braves alone. Now, Ozuna did beat out the throw, but he was hobbling really bad, and he did stay in, and he actually scored a few moments later. Olsen, he sprayed a long double. That's literally as long as you can hit it without it being a home run. Harris scores on that swing. Ozuna scoring now as Albies has an RBI in 3 straight. Jonathan Aranda, check out this guy's stats. He has an RBI in 3 of his last 4 games. He's batting .395 in 38 at-bats. Obviously, it's not going to last, but I told you guys before the season, that guy rakes. He's also leading the American League in doubles. Junior Caminero has 3 home runs. That's back-to-back games with the long ball. This one's a 3-run bomb. He's still just 21 years old. He has the best bat speed in baseball. He's a superstar in the making. The Braves are 4-11. From a last-place team in the NL East to the first-place team, the A's, they got embarrassed by the Mets because Kodai Senga forkball, ghost ball thing is so disgusting. Sevy, he was tossing frisbees as well. He's trying to make sure that his old team knows exactly what they could have had if they didn't cheap out over like $6 million or something like that, and he's losing now. And he's actually going to stay losing because Kodai and his buddies shut out the Athletics over all 9 innings. Hold on, here's Francisco Lindor with an RBI double. Vientos has a bases-loaded walk. Sorry, Mark, I'm going to skip that because Kodai's carving 7 scoreless with 2 more strikeouts to end his start. He's allowed 2 earned runs total his first 3 starts. Okay, there you go, Vientos. Finally, a clip for him, an RBI past Miguel Andujar. The Mets kept pouring it on. I don't know why. Seth Brown is in center field. Maybe no one catches that because of the sun, but Luis Torrens gets a free RBI double. Brett Beatty, he then knocked in Torres, and boy, did he need that because he was 0 for 4 with 2 more strikeouts in this game before that at bat, and he's been one of the worst players in baseball. Speaking of needing things, Jacob Wilson, he needs a base hit to keep the streak alive. No, he whiffed. Man, that's just his 3rd strikeout in 16 games, but his hit streak does end at 15. As a baseball fan, I'm pretty upset, but man, the Mets are playing pretty well lately. So the Mets just did some shutting out. Now it's time for the Phillies to do some shutting out, only they weren't the ones throwing the shutout. This Wilson Contreras 2-run missile is all she wrote for the Phillies' chances at winning. Wilson's finally on the board. That's his first home run of the year, and I think he had gone 25 games without a long ball dating back to 2024. Matthew Liberatore, sheesh, look at these pitches in the 6th. We're not talking about the 1st or the 2nd inning. We're talking about well into his pitch count. Bryce Harper chased. Schwarber's down on the 96. Like, look at that location if you're not looking. A painted 96 fastball. He's only 25 years old. There's still plenty of time to iron out his bad habits. He goes 6 scoreless with 7 strikeouts, only 3 base hits. The Redbirds offense, they went off to end this one. Nolan, he laced a double after Donovan doubled. The bat speed, by the way, for Nolan Arenado is up 2% to start this year, and he has 9 walks to 4 strikeouts. He's seeing it really, really well. The other Nolan also doubled. He scores. Nolan Arenado. Gorman, by the way, has 3 extra base hits, only 1 strikeout his first 12 at-bats. That'll work, and so will this. Jordan Walker, he turned and burned on a 98 fastball. His hands are closer to him this year. That's 112 off the bat, his 2nd of the year. He has a 350 on base. The Cardinals, they're 7-8, and the Phillies, they're now under 500 on the road this year. Hunter Greene is never going to get the shine and the press of Paul Skeens, but he is emerging as a Paul Skeens-like type of force in baseball. He is one of the premier starters we have in this game. We'll get to him in a second. There's Santiago Espinal, who never strikes out, showing why kids put the ball in play and good things will happen. He almost never strikes out, and here he is again after knocking in 2. He knocks Carmen Majinski out the game altogether, and Ellie, he floated in another run. He's proving that he can hit righty. A lot of Reds fans have been saying he needs to call Shane Victorino or something like that and learn how to stop switch hitting because he has an 850 career OPS as a lefty. As a right-handed hitter, he's batting .205 with a 593 OPS. Okay, I see what you mean. I did not realize it was that bad. Now it's time to fanboy and glaze Hunter Greene. Look at that nasty slider to get Brian Reynolds to chase, and 98 on the border on pitch 88. That is just flat out stupid. Hunter goes 6 scoreless. He's fired up. He's trying for 3 consecutive games, going 7+ innings, and he gets it done. 7 shutout after 8 2/3 shutout the game before. He has a 1.05 ERA since last June. He's only allowed 10 earned runs his last 14 starts. The Reds, they sweep, and the Pirates, they fall to 5-11. Milwaukee better make sure they do not let their foot off the gas pedal, because the Reds, they can creep up and tie them if they don't take care of business against Zach Gallen. William, there we go. He and his brother both go yard in the exact same recap. William has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs his last 6 games. Corbin Carroll has been a dog this year. He's up with a few runners on, but he bails out Freddie. That's a nasty curveball. Freddie then walked Geraldo Perdomo, who, by the way, has 12 walks to 1 strikeout this year. Oh no, Freddie yanked it. That sucks, because after this, he could have ended it with no damage. He strikes out Pavin Smith, but of course that wild pitch does damage. Freddie tried to go for 6, but he's relieved after loading the bases. Nick Mears, he kind of did his job. Tim Tawa, he had a sac fly, but maybe it wasn't going to be a sac fly if there wasn't a collision out there between Jackson Chourio and Garrett Mitchell. Josh Naylor, he scores. He then later ripped an RBI of his own. He's got 10 RBIs. He's batting .322. Alec Thomas, he makes it 5-2. He's batting .344. And AJ Puck, he's been probably the best reliever in baseball since being acquired by the Diamondbacks. He strikes out 3 for his 3rd save. He has an insane 14.5 strikeouts per 9 as a Diamondback. That's 53 strikeouts his last 33 innings. Do not run on Angel Martinez. Okay, that's not the furthest outfield assist I've ever seen. Neither is this next throw, but hey, both teams, they traded outfield assist early in this one. You don't really see that in these recaps. Big Christmas. You better get on your horse. Schneemann, he laced one past MJ Melendez. Lefties do not get base hits off of Cole Ragans. Bobby threw one into Narnia. That is a Little League home run. Obviously, it's not credited as a home run, but I think that made the Royals angry, because Salvi, he pummeled a real home run. He's always raked against the Guardians. Michael Garcia put Cole up with a clutch 2-run double, and again, Cole was pitching angry. This Schneemann strikeout was his 5th in a row. Then he throws 98 past Brian Rocchio. Brian Rocchio has been awful this year. That's 6 strikeouts in a row. The streak ended, but down goes Schneemann for the 2nd time. That gives Cole Ragans 10+ strikeouts in 3 straight games. He's only the 2nd Royal to ever do that. He has a 2.9 ERA and an 11.1 strikeouts per 9 as a Royal. That's disgusting. The Royals, they avoid being swept by the Guardians with Carlos Estevez's 5th save of the year. Sticking with some AL Central squads, Joe Mauer finally got his statue in Minnesota. He threw out the first pitch to Justin Morneau, and all I have to say is, well played, Mauer. The Twins, they got to step up. They cannot ruin his moment. Byron, see ya. He's only batting .192 on the year, but he's got 3 home runs, 3 stolen bases, and health is all that matters right now. The offense and the batting average will creep up if he just simply stays healthy. Brooks Lee, at a kid, he shortened up. He plays Ty France. Torkelson, is that number 5? He knew it. Like, check the replay. Torque is hitting angry. He said, get that shit off me. Eddie Julian, he's bouncing back as well. He's at his best when he's going the other way. That's his 1st of the year. And what in the world was this next clip? Glaber flipped it to nobody. I guess Colt Keith just, maybe his controller died. I don't know. But Ty France, that's an RBI single. Matt Wallner, just a beautiful swing. He swatted it to left field. He waited on it perfectly. By the way, tip of the cap to Simeon Woods Richardson. He didn't walk anyone over 5 scoreless, and he needed that because he walked 4 his previous start. The Twins are 5-11. The Tigers, 9-6. Taylor Ward, do not hit a home run challenge. Difficulty, impossible. I think that's 5 the last week or something insane like that. Nolan Schanuel, again, back-to-back games for him as well with a home run. Now, the Astros responded with the quickness as rookie Cam Smith, he cut the deficit in half. And look at Mauricio Dubon debuting his brand-new torpedo bat. It worked out. It's a 2-2 tie. He got to 2nd on the throw to 3rd base. Now, he could have stayed at 1st and cartwheeled home because he can take his sweet time. All 75 career home runs by Isaac Paredes have been to left field. That is 3 straight games for Paredes. He has a monster 382 on base because he also has 8 walks. Jake Myers is showing why he's always going to be in Gold Glove conversations. He has 2 outs above average already. He had 14 last year. Jorge Soler, that ball is absolutely hammered. Altuve didn't even flinch on that one. Wesneski, he's allowed the most home runs in baseball this year, but he's striking out a lot. He still had 10 punchies in this game. But the Astros do take 2 of 3 in this homestand versus the Angels. They outscored them 22-10. Alejandro Kirk stepped up with his team losing, and he just reset the score. This is going to be one of those crazy back-and-forth games. Mountcastle, thank you, 2025 Wall. That ball does not leave last year. Vladdy, I'm hoping that we can see a crazy hot streak from Vladdy here soon. He ties it, and like I said, though, it's a back-and-forth game. Gunnar, he tripled, and then Andres, I think he just tried to do a little bit too much. Maybe the platinum glove got to his head. Or maybe I'm just an Andres hater now that he's not on the Guardians. No chance of getting Gunnar with his speed. Westberg, he's rung up on a pitch below his knees. Brandon Hyde, I mean, I think that was the second time of the game that Westberg was rung up on a bad pitch. Brandon was just sticking up for his team. There was a lot of choice words. That umpire was bad. I believe he missed 17 calls. 14 of them were against Baltimore. Tyler O'Neill, he said, I'm going to do it myself. I'm not going to risk the umpire making a decision for me. That is 2 home runs and a near 170 OPS plus on the season for Tyler. Oh no, George, buddy. He stays in after a awkward swing, and then when he struck out, he looked like he was in a lot of pain. His left wrist was just biting. Hope that he's okay, because he's been insane this year. Holy former Guardians. Miles Straw drives in Ernie Clement, both former Guardians. Now this guy's not a former Guardian. Vladdy. This one stings, buddy. An error allows 2 to score. Kirk, he then swats his second extra base hit of the game, an RBI extra base hit, so now it's 6-4. Schneider, he grounded out for an RBI, so the tying run is at third for Bo, who cashed it in. He's batting .315 with 10 RBIs and a near .370 on base. He's going to get paid if he keeps this up. So we have extra innings, more former Cleveland action. Straw singles in Anderson Minutes. Of course, Straw is batting .375 his first 11 games. Jeff Hoffman, here we have some kind of personal beef because Hoffman gets the save. He blows a kiss to the Orioles dugout because in the offseason, the Orioles were trying to get Jeff Hoffman, but they said, we don't like your medical. We're going to rescind our offer. He goes to the Blue Jays and he says, that's what you guys could have had. Take that. Another recap in the books. We've had 3 15-game recaps in a row. These are exhausting. So do me a favor, guys. If you enjoy the grind, leave a like. That's all I really ask for. Subscribe. Send it to a friend who has not subscribed. If you think they would like these videos, it would mean a lot to me. But yeah, that's it. Enough yapping. Enjoy the web gems. Thanks for watching.
Down his first year. Jimenez very slowly to second. Glove flip. Holiday. Oh, what a catch! But
swinging a line drive, sinking into center field, charging Mangum, and it
lined
swinging away. Schmidt from his knee. Rogers.
Harris sends one to left field. Altuve coming in. He'll make a sliding catch.
Oliver Dunn, the third baseman, first pitch swinging, tough play for Tawa. Haven. As he swings at the first one, diving stop at third, and yes, the